Hello and welcome to another edition of School Scene, where we invite you into the Garland ISD to see the wonderful things that are being done by our students, teachers, and staff. We are at O'Banion Middle School today, where we are joined by Courtney Reed. Courtney, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You are the theater arts teacher here at the school.
I am.
And you and your students recently won a contest through KISS FM.
We did.
And that ultimately resulted in a musical performance by the group Karmin. They came in and gave you guys an exclusive concert. Tell us a little bit about what went into that contest, what you had to do.
Okay, so in March we had to come up with a Glee-style video for the Kid Craddock in the Morning show. We submitted it on YouTube. It had to have a shout out to Kid Craddock in the Morning, and we also had to say something about Karmin as well. So we made that video, submitted it. Maybe about 2 weeks later, we found out that we won the contest in our division. We ended up getting $1,500. So we were up against the elementary, middle school, and high school as far as having the Karmin concert. We ended up winning that as well. And so yes, the concert was on Monday, May 12th, and the kids had a blast. It was so great. They got to actually meet Karmin and take a picture with them. It's Karmin is actually two people, Amy and Nick. They're engaged, I believe. So. Yeah.
That's cool. Now, the $1,500, does that go to your theater arts program?
It goes to the theater arts program. We got Visa gift cards, so we were able to get some lighting stands. We got some books, some new scene books, and what else we had? We had a pizza party on the day of the concert, and we bought some costumes and wigs.
So the kids got to see kind of the professional side of theater arts and what can come of that.
Yes, I did.
Did they enjoy that? Kind of get to incorporate that into the lessons a little bit?
They did. They enjoyed. They really enjoyed being on YouTube, where their friends, family, and everybody could see. It was really exciting for them. I think they said that they saw the video, a clip on Fox 4 News. So
yeah,
I didn't see that, but
we did have some media coverage out here that day. So we got to promote it and show what you and your kids did. So. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the experience during the concert? I know that the Kid Craddock personalities were out here. You had some interaction with Karmin.
Yeah, I actually got to meet Big Al and JC, Kelly Raspberry, Psycho Shannon. They all were on the stage and introduced me, and I got to go up and talk to them and talk about how I used the money. And then Karmin actually had one of the students, Desiree, she actually came up and sang "Look at Me Now" with Karmin, with the group, and she just absolutely loved it.
So we start like this. Say, yellow model chick, yellow bottle sipping,
yellow Lamborghini, yellow top missing. Yeah, that look like a toothpaste. I get what you want, you think it. It's toothpaste.
I'm on my cool J. If you get what I get, what would you say? He whacks it on and off. Say,
Mr. Miyagi, and I'm suicide doors.
look at me now, look at me now. Oh, what you guys got? Say, I'm getting. Look at me now, look at me now. Yeah. What you gonna what? Little bigger than gorilla, cause I'm killing every jigger that trying to be on my stuff. Ready for me, man, if you with them, I can get him, cause he ain't thinking zipping fire on my crack. Oops, I said.
Oh my God, I just say oh my God. Since we talking about my God, you might as well say hi to it. I'm done.
Woo, give it up, Desiree.
So she was so excited.
Experience of a lifetime.
Yes, it was. She had her composure. She maintained her composure on the stage, but when she got off stage, she was just like, ah! She couldn't believe it.
Future in theater arts right there in Macon.
Yeah.
We appreciate what you do for the kids here at O'Banion. Sounds like you had a wonderful time, and we're glad that you joined us on the show today. So thank you.
Thank you.
From O'Banion Middle School to Schrade Middle School, 6th grade students in Mr. Paul Reyna's science class sometimes get the opportunity to take their indoor lessons outdoors into a garden that Mr. Reyna has transformed into a learning oasis. Let's take a look.
Schrade's really proud. We have an outdoor environmental learning center. The key mark piece, or the major part of it, is our garden that's behind me. I was lucky enough to be able to start it 9 years ago, and the kids work with me. They stay after school, and we made the soil better, and we do a lot of harvesting. This year we hope to harvest about 110 to 120 pounds of potatoes, and they like it because at the end of the school year, while they're taking their final exam, I'm making mashed potatoes, so they get to eat mashed potatoes while they're bubbling in their scantrons. There's a lot to be learned from the garden. I'm very, very fortunate that my principal and the school district allows me to do what we do here. We've grown, these benches were actually made by one of my students. It was his Eagle Scout project, Justin Baum. And he at first said, can I make you some picnic benches? And I was like, maybe not picnic benches, because the kids would have their backs turned to me part of the way or their necks would get tired. And they said, what if I make you half picnic benches? And I'm like, good. So far, we've had them out here for about a month, and we've had multiple classes come out, enjoy them, and use the Outdoor Learning Center. We're fortunate enough to receive a grant from Lowe's, and we have a beautiful garden, which is an example of a drought-tolerant garden in this age of water restrictions. We can't use as much as most people would like to keep their gardens and their flowers looking nice. So we wanted to present something to the public so they could see what they could grow that uses less water. The garden's awesome. We have everything from spinach to broccoli to cantaloupe to watermelon to corn to onions, and it goes on and on. We've got blackberries in our orchard. We've got 3 different types of peaches. We've got 2 types of pears. We've got Fuji apples, Gala apples, Golden Delicious apples. We've got pecans. We've got a little bit of everything here. So this has kind of been a really, really nice investment in time with the kids. It's for the kids, it's for the entire community. I would say a good number of our kids do start gardens at home. One of the things that we do is we start from seed jalapenos, tomatoes, and various other things. We did watermelons and cantaloupes this year, and we all start them inside the classroom. We raise them up to a certain stage, and every kid is allowed to take home plants. So each one of them takes something home, and if they want to, they plant it. And a lot of times I get pictures from, when I come back of how their plants have grown and grown. And one girl just told me that her cantaloupe is probably spread out about 2 to 3 feet from its little seedling. So they get to see it from the very beginning all the way through. So yeah, they do that. I was also really happy when I was doing some work out here about 2 weeks ago. I had a high school student come on back and he said, "Oh, Mr. Reyna, I just wanted to see the garden." And he started telling me about his garden, and I was just so impressed and blown away that he took some of the information from here and is using it in his life. Ultimately, the stuff that they learn now, hopefully they'll pass it on to somebody else, maybe one day even their own kids. We're very fortunate. I've been able to do this primarily from grants. I haven't had to ask my principal for any money, so he's happy on that regard. But for years and years, the Meadows Foundation has made donations to help keep this going every year. On occasion, the Best Foundation, when I really need something, they've always come up and got me what I needed. The tiller to till the garden came from the Best Foundation. Lowe's, like I said, and Keep Rowlett Beautiful came together to help gather some funds for the drought-tolerant garden. I currently do have a grant from HEB for an irrigation system to irrigate the trees. That's a $2,600 donation. I also have, hopefully in the near future, a wind-powered, solar-powered electrical generation station coming in, totally off grid, and from that we'll create energy to shine a light on the flagpole at nighttime and also to run some water features so that we can go ahead and continue the learning. Everything that we do outside is so that the kids can make it real world and hands-on, and they tend to learn a little bit better when they do it that way.
One of the first things a lot of people think of when the word school comes to mind is the actual school building itself. A lot of things go into maintaining those buildings: plumbing, electric, heating, air conditioning. In Garland, the Department of Facilities and Maintenance actually maintains those campuses, and that group has a new gentleman in charge. It's Joel Falcon, our Executive Director of Facilities and Maintenance. Joel, appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, Chris. Glad to be here.
You've been in the district now 2 to 3 months. You've gotten to see some of the facilities, see some of the upkeep, and tell us your first impressions of Garland ISD and what you've seen so far with a lot of our structures.
Well, a lot of the school buildings I've been in, first of all, the school administrators have been just very welcoming. And overall, they're in very good shape. There are some schools that, because of the age of the buildings, have a little bit of neglect. But we're looking to help improve that by meeting those needs and covering all our bases, the areas like you just mentioned, heating, electrical, plumbing, and just making sure that all the students have a conducive learning environment.
Garland's got 71 campuses, probably 10, 15, 20 more academic, athletic, administrative facilities. You know, it's around 80 to 90 buildings. That's a lot, but you have worked in Dallas ISD and Houston ISD,
right,
the two largest districts in the state. How is that experience going to help you here in Garland?
Well, my experience in both those districts, Chris, is going to help me utilize my experience and cover a lot of ground that I feel that will bring a lot of the facilities at school, non-school sites up to par. I think that our departments can adjust accordingly to meet the needs. And we've got a great staff and a great management team and a great leadership team, starting with the superintendent.
One of the projects that was underway when you began here in Garland was the renovation of HBJ Stadium. Homer Basil Johnson, a legend here in the district and throughout the state. Actually going on here behind us, you can see a lot of the activity. The press box undergoing extensive renovation. Talk to us a little bit about this project and where it stands, the timelines, when it all may be completed.
Okay. Well, Chris, this was a press box stadium that was in need of a facelift. And so prior to my getting here, the goal in mind was to build a state-of-the-art press box, the scoreboard systems to kind of mirror what was going on with the Williams Stadium. So as I got here, everything is scheduled to be complete by the start of school, or by the start of the football season. Mm-hmm. It's a great endeavor. It's going to provide, again, state-of-the-art communications, video, press box, the actual press box locations for the coaches, the coaching staff, mm-hmm, and it's just a great addition to the district.
One of the things that HBJ has suffered with a few years is, as you'll see here, this retaining wall. Mm-hmm. Tell us what's going on here and what prompted the maintenance and the renovation of this wall behind us.
Well, it's such a steep incline, as you see, Chris, and in the past with heavy rains it's caused some flooding and some other issues. So what's going to happen, along with a brand new scoreboard, there's going to be a drainage system that's going to be built into this area. So that way, whenever there are heavy rains, that it will drain accordingly. It won't get onto the playing field, and it's also going to allow so that bands and other halftime entertainment groups can congregate here and not have to worry about things like that.
Bring things up to speed within areas of compliance with folks with disabilities, and like you said, just get everything synonymous with what's going on over at Williams.
Right, and that's a real good point, Chris. We want to make sure that we are compliant with ADA, and aside from what's going on over here at the press box, we have some more work going on just adjacent to the stadium with restrooms and bringing them up to ADA compliance, aside from just general maintenance and bringing those up to code and making them more user-friendly, if you will. And so yeah, that's all part of the construction as well.
All on target. Going to take place. Be ready for that first football game.
It's going to be ready for that first football game. You bet.
Well, Joel, thanks again for joining us here on School Scene. Give us an update here on what's going on HBJ. We look forward to you working throughout the district and bringing our folks updated.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's been a pleasure, and I'm so excited to be here at GISD.
Great look there at HBJ Stadium, and another opportunity to welcome Joel Falcon to the school district. We now have John Tucci, principal at O'Banion Middle School. Thank you for joining us here today, John.
My pleasure, Chris. Glad to be with you.
We spotlighted your theater art students a few minutes ago, and Miss Reed and the contest that they won, which ultimately resulted in Karmin coming in and performing for the kids. I'm sure you're extremely proud of that group.
Miss Reed did a fabulous job with those students. That's really one of Miss Reed's fortes, doing videos of that nature. and working with kids in that way. And I think our kids were excited, they were really involved, they were actively engaged, and they really produced an outstanding product, as evidenced by them winning the contest. I think the other thing that was really great for our kids and for our program is they won the $1,500 first, and then were awarded the concert on top of that. So that was like putting the icing on the cake.
It was an exceptional group of kids that won that contest, but that's just an example of some of the good things you have going here at O'Banion. Talk to us a little bit about your campus.
O'Banion is a great campus. Our kids have come miles, and we've put in programs that have been of huge benefit to our students, as evidenced just by our AVID program. We are a national demonstration school. We've had that status now for 2 years. Next year we'll come up for recertification. I think we'll have another great opportunity to become and remain a national demonstration school. On top of that, next year we're going to pilot a brand new AVID program called AVID XL, which is going to be for our English language learners in the 7th grade. Another great opportunity for us. Plus we'll have 6 other sections of AVID. So we'll have an AVID class every period of every day. Our band and choir programs are great programs as well. Our band was a sweepstakes winner again this year. That's 3 straight years. That hasn't happened here at O'Banion since way back in the 1990s. So we are gaining ground every single day. Academically, we're improving in all areas. We've got a great group of teachers who work very hard to help our students achieve and reach what we like to talk about is called destination excellence.
Well, John, you have obviously done a great job here at O'Banion, along with your staff and your teachers. Keep up the good work, and thank you for having us out here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for being here with us, Chris.
That's going to do it for us here on this edition of School Scene. It's also going to wrap down our season because the 13-14 school year is drawing to a close. Enjoy your summers, and we will see you soon.